Hi guys, it's Steven from Property Nest Estate Agents. Sorry, we're a day late. Had a very busy day yesterday. But I thought with the election coming up this weekend, I wanted to do a quick wrap up. Now, I'm by no means an election commentator or an expert, but I do read and I have been in this business for about 20 years. So there are some items that I wouldn't mind raising to a lot of our viewers. Main difference between the three policies, and if we're looking at the Coalition, the ALP or the Greens, ultimately, when you have a look at what they're saying they're going to do in this next election, they're pretty much identical. The only place that they differ is on tax cuts and also on property ownership. So there are some significant changes that the ALP is proposing, and I'm not sure if everyone's really understanding what that's going to mean to the property industry. So this is sort of a video on property ownership and the election. The main thing, the Coalition ain't going to change too much in the way of what they're going to do. They are proposing some tax cuts. They both agree on low-income earners tax cuts, so that's happening regardless of who goes into to the election this weekend. The big changes are going to come around negative gearing, and they're going to come around property ownership costs. Now, interestingly enough, the ALP says that the reason that negative gearing is pushing up prices is making it more difficult for first-home buyers to jump into it. Interestingly enough, I read an article from BMT Tax Depreciation. You can see that on our website later today on our blog page. But they said that in last year's tax returns, that 64% of people who claimed negative gearing only owned one investment property and were on $80,000 or less. So more than half of the market that's out there creating investment properties for people to rent are actually sort of medium to low income earners. So these changes are really going to affect that. The people who claim multiple negative gearing tax credits and so on are the high net worth earners, the 180, they only make up 7% of the marketplace. So I think the ALP has to really think about this, because they really are going to affect essentially average Australians. They're also looking at possibly putting in some sort of death duty at retirees. That is going to affect, and it's going to raise money, it's going to be effective, but it's also going to attack the largest population who's going into retirement over the next 10 years, so to say. So that is really going to affect low-income earners, middle earners and property investors and so on. In the last 10 years, a lot of clients have got into the home ownership by buying one or two investment properties, claiming the negative gearing tax, renting them out, continuing to rent a home, and therefore becoming a little bit more wealthy and being able to afford the family home. That may become a thing of the past. So one of the popular tactics that first-home buyers have used to buy an investment property, to rent it out for a couple of years, build up equity before they buy their family home, that may be taken off the table for them. So whoever you decide to vote for this weekend, I do hope you spend a bit of time maybe on Friday or Saturday morning, read some of these articles out there, really understand what these parties are proposing, and let's make this this election count. I wish you all the very best. If you do want a copy of any of those articles that I've been posting on our blog page, just go to our resources page on propertynest.com.au. If you have any questions about property ownership post-election, feel free to give me a call on my mobile number.